Oh wow. Yeah, that is like burny. It's a little bit mint, but also like it has that Too Faced feeling to it. If you ever used Too Faced before, you will know what I mean. That super duper like tingly, almost a little bit sore, stingy feeling. Hi, I hope you're all well. If you are new around here, hello, it is lovely to meet you. And if you're returning, thank you very fucking much for coming back. Now, my name is Alanna and I'm a 36-year-old lady living in Scotland, and that is where the accent is from. And on this channel, we predominantly like to talk all things beauty, skincare, hair care, lifestyle, travelly, bloggery, vloggery, bullshit, but with a liberal sprinkling of sarcasm and cynicism thrown in on top. Now, this video is going to be me trying out a lot of Primark Beauty dupes. I want to say dupes for Charlotte Tilbury, but let's face it, Charlotte Tilbury doesn't do a mascara in a tube, anything like this. But you kind of get where I'm coming from here. I mean, this eyeshadow palette is a definite Charlotte Tilbury dupe right here, isn't it? That one there is very difficult to catch on camera because it's very mirrory. So everything that I've got on my face today, with the exception of some concealer, which is also a budget beauty brand, is Primark Beauty. There also is a little subscription button in the corner down there. Give the YouTube video a little thumbs up and all that other YouTuber rubbish. And let's just go. Right, let's get on with this makeup today. I do not have a foundation or a concealer from the Primark range, simply because the concealers were pretty much all burst open and like lying about the place. And I'd been into 2 different Primarks in Glasgow, quite big ones, and they were just burst into and lying all over the place. So I kind of was like, no, I won't be picking any of them up. The foundations, I just felt like there was maybe one that I thought it was like a glowy one. I can't remember if it was a Charlotte Tilbury dupe or if it was just more like an illuminating highlighter situation. The other ones, there was dupes definitely there for the It Cosmetics CC cream that I seen, and there was a lot of kind of matte stuff as well. Nothing in the complexion area really took my eye, so I thought I'm not going to pick it up. If you've tried anything in the complexion range, please let me know, because I would be interested. I basically have dry skin. I'm 36 years old. I don't really like a matte finish. I like dewy, juicy skin. So, you know, let me know if you've tried anything and that suits you too. But I did pick this up, and this is the Prep and Perfect Glow Cream Illuminating Primer. Why did it got to have all the words? I don't know. This basically to me looks like a dupe for the MAC strobe cream from years ago. I'm just going to squeeze it out on the back of my hand there. What I will say is, see the tube itself. Oh, sorry. Molly, my cat, is in the background there. But see the tube itself, it's very difficult to squeeze out. Like, this is hard, this tube. Like, I'm getting it out there. But that is not an... I imagine if you had any dexterity issues, that would be a tough one to squeeze out. I am just going to show you it on the back of my hand first. I would say it's got a very slightly pinky glow to it. A little bit like, remember the original MAC strobe cream was almost like a bluey colour as well. There was different shades in the end. I think they still do them. But it had that kind of iridescent blue shift to it. Like, there's a little tiny bit of that, but more pink than anything else. So I am not going to be plopping this all over my face. I am just going to apply it to the high points, and then we will go on with a concealer, actually a new one from a like budget beauty brand. Now, there are obviously lots of different ranges in Primark. They do like the dupes of Huda Beauty. Pretty sure they've got dupes of like Urban Decay, stuff like that. They've got loads of different dupes of lots of different brands, skincare as well. But what I have primarily picked up here, maybe this one is a little bit like Benefit, I want to say. But what I've primarily picked up is all of the Charlotte Tilbury dupes. I very recently watched Michaela McDade's video talking about Charlotte Tilbury. It's been a while since she'd really looked at the brand and thought anything of them. And I found it really interesting because a lot of the opinions she had are very, very similar to mine. That Charlotte Tilbury does do some really beautiful products. I have products from them that I would quite happily repurchase. But I do think, and I've said this before, there are a lot of stuff from Charlotte Tilbury that I think is wildly overrated. So I'm going to try some of this Primark stuff, and I mean, the palette here was £6. It's very pink, I know, but I've been feeling the pink lately. I even put on my Michaela McDade sweatshirt today, so we're kind of feeling it. But very pink. Obviously, the last time I spoke about this was the dual tone blush. and I feel like this is a straight up dupe for the Cheek to Chic blushes from Charlotte Tilbury, and I did think this was quite nice, used with a lighter hand. It's not a definite dupe, but considering this is £4.50 and the Charlotte ones are £34, I seen these ones, which were in the same kind of area as all this stuff, but I feel like these are more like a dupe for the Rare Beauty, maybe. This one is peach. The colour of this one, oh, insane. It looks so beautiful. And then this one is rose. This one looks a lot more, it's actually very close to the colour of my sweatshirt. Very, very much more neutral, but this is a bit of me right here. This looks fucking lovely. So I'm going to try that as well. I might do 2 different colours on each side of the face, we'll see. I picked up a lip liner. Again, this is kind of that Charlotte Tilbury-esque thing. And what shade is this in? Natural Pink. I picked up a lip gloss, and this is the Plumping Gloss here. I could have picked up a lipstick. I know they do dupes for Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, but I just felt I don't need it. I just don't need it, and I might not like it. So I wanted to try a gloss instead because I maybe have more wear throughout the summer. And then they have this, which is the Sweet Lashes. It's very, very nice packaging. It's obviously not a straight up dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. She doesn't own any mascaras that look like this, but I see where they're trying to make it look like that. They're trying to dupe it. I picked up one of the cream eyeshadow pots, and I picked up the shade Bronze Gold here. This looks very, like, in the pan, looks pretty promising. I have had the Charlotte Tilbury, is it Eyes to Mesmerize, like in the little pots, the cream eyeshadow. I could take or leave them. I think for the price of them, they're not that amazing. So we will see how this stuff fares. As I said, I think this is a bit more of a dupe for Benefit, this one. I have tried this once before. This is the Wonder Lash, and this is also £3.50. This did, I didn't get on with this, but we'll try lashes on both sides. We will see how this goes. So why don't we just start off with this cream eyeshadow? First of all, let me just dip my finger into it. Very soft, very creamy, okay? Looks not bad on the end of the finger there. Let me just do a little swatch for you. Okay, Primark. Yes, I see you. It's quite a deep, like, brown colour, but actually the shift in the light is a really beautiful, like, coppery bronze. It's gorgeous. Very nice. I don't know what it would be like for creasing and stuff like that. And given that this is like a pink shade eyeshadow palette, should we just do some swatches of this too? I need to take the plastic. There's like a plasticky wrapper over the top of the shadows. What I noticed was that on one side where it says, oh, there's another plastic wrapper. Here we go. One side says Dawn, these 6 here, and this side says Dusk. I feel like what this is duping, sorry, mirror problems. I feel like what this is duping, did Charlotte's ones come in like 3? Like as in, there was a name here for 3, 6, 9 and 12. Like did they have different names under each? But in this one it's like the first 6 is called Dawn and the last 6 are called Dusk. I have to say, from looking at it, from what I can see, the last 6 are all shimmers and the first 6 are all mattes. So a bit strange, because like during dawn or daytime, why would you not want to put shimmery eyeshadow on? I would. And dusk, I still want to have a matte available. Oh, this is a terrible thing to try and show, sorry. During dusk hours, nighttime hours, I still would like a matte on this side. But you can just use them all together. It doesn't really fucking matter. Anyway, so I think given the colour of this bronze, let's use more of the dawn side and just do a little bit of a neutral, slightly boring smoky eye, but let's just go for it. I'm going to go in with like a little paddle brush here and just dip into the pot and apply to the eye. Let me zoom you in. So this is obviously quite a dark shade, as I said, but I'm going to just apply it to the mobile lid area and then buff it out a little bit with another brush. You could obviously as well just use this on its own if you're one of these people that loves a one and done shadow. I'm very much like that, especially on the daily. I love a one and done. That is very pretty. What a gorgeous colour that is. Okay, so do I think it's gone a little sheer using a brush? Yep, but that's maybe a good thing because I feel like if I just plopped it straight on my eye with my finger, I'd have been a little bit like, oh, that's got a bit out of control quite quickly, Alana. I'm going to take a slightly fluffy brush and buff that around the edges. That is very pretty. It's got a lovely metallic sheen to it. Yep, into that. As I say, I don't know what the creasing is like. This is just first impressions. I could put this all on my face and then in a few hours I could be like, oh, this looks like shit now. But I will let you know what I'm like. I'll do like a monthly roundup and keep you in the know of what I think of them. But on first impressions, I think this is a very pretty little cream eyeshadow. And I just can't, the sheen is spectacular. I'm hoping you can see that there. Might just be the sheen of my face that you're seeing at the moment, but it's very, very beautiful metallic finish. I feel like I've used more expensive products that have meant to have given that effect and they've not. So I am now going to go in. Do I want this one or do I want this one? I think I'm going to go into this one. Let's do this one first. This is going to end up another fucking warm toned neutral eye look, isn't it? What can I say? I know where my comfort zone is. Okay, so again, pigmented, very pigmented. Just gonna be careful with this because I don't want it to become a like super duper glam look either. I just want it to be like a nice soft blown out eye that I would potentially wear on the daily. Yes, yes, that's very pretty. Okay, we're gonna do the same on the other side. There are like really, really hot pinks in here as well, so I will come back and play with this a bit more. What I might do is a like 3 looks 1 palette over on Instagram, so if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are. Okay, so that shade, absolutely stunning, very, very pigmented. I feel like, I mean, is this a colour story that I'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely going to wear this every single day? Initially, when I looked at it, I thought probably not, but actually that's a very nice warm tone. It's not all pinks and purples like I thought. I'm just going to go in underneath. I am going to use this one here now and then maybe the peach a little. I definitely think, so this is me now using what I would say in the pan looks like more of a tan colour, but I would say this is definitely pulling warmer. Rusts and peach tones rather than what I initially thought in the pan looked like quite a pink palette. And then I'm taking the peachy tone and I'm just going to pop that right here. And I think, again, that's a lovely colour. I am going to now go into this one here, which I feel like is a little bit more of a chocolate taupe colour. I'm just going to pop that on the outer corners here. Yeah, that one definitely feels a lot more like actual brown as opposed to an orangey brown, which is quite nice. Okay, so for the shimmers, I'm going to take the lightest one in the palette. As I say, this is on the dusk side, but I would dispute that. And I am just going to, this looks more like a rose gold. I'm just going to pop that right here. I feel like this is one that you could probably get away with an orangey toned look or a pinky toned look. It's just a nice kind of warm gold colour. Warm champagne, like a rosy champagne. Yep, that's very nice too. I'm wondering if, like, I kind of don't want to detract from the metallic-y thing that's going on in my lid, but I think the only shimmer that I would be able to really get away with this look is the one in the middle here. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of that on my finger, just in the centre. Oh, that was quite nice. That's definitely making it feel more golden in the middle, whereas it was definitely like a bronze before. So what I'm going to say is I am pleasantly surprised with how quick that was, how quickly it's went on, how pigmented the shadows are, and how actually it's quite warm toned in comparison to, I thought it was going to be very pink, but I would say the Dawn side is definitely more peachy, like warm, kind of, you could have a neutral eye if you used a slightly lighter colour than I did. The last matte shade, it's almost like a mauve, whereas the shade that I used, I'm just going to put it next to it. That's it there. So that's what I put in the crease, and this is the one that I feel like is quite mauve. So yeah, it's an odd colour story. I feel like these three at the end, the pinks, are going to go quite well with like the mauve here, but these are very, very warm. This is very, very peachy. I feel like this colour story works. There's this odd one here, and then these will go with the majority of stuff. But the shimmers that I have used, I think they're very nice. We will see how they wear. I will come back to you and let you know that, but on first impressions, it's a nice little palette. £6? Yeah, I'm into it. Also, first impressions with this little eyeshadow pot, I'm into it. I think it's nice. We will see how it creases. You could absolutely wear this on its own. I don't think you needed to put anything on top, but I was just giving it a go. I am now going to put on some mascara. Okay, so on the left hand side, I am going to try this Sweet Lashes. I am going to show you the wand. So as you can see, it's like very curved, and it's like one side is very, very spiky, and then this side is curved in, and then that's it all the way around. It's a plastic wand, and I feel like when I'm doing stuff like this is where I can seriously end up poking myself in the eye and hurting myself. I feel like the little brush is good at like giving you lift, like if that's what you're looking for, to get right in at the base here, lift from the roots. That's quite nice. But I also feel like with it being a plasticky wand, and I find this sometimes with plastic wands, is I have to flip the brush over to get more product onto the lashes. It's like there's not quite enough product filling up the bristles of the wand. What I quite like about this is I feel like it's lifting and fanning quite well. It's really like pulling them out and into a really nice shape on my eyelash. I really need to probably do this with no makeup on so you can really see what I'm on about. I'm just going to go onto the bottom now. I've not re-dipped the brush at all. So this is all the product that was on it from the first application. Okay, so let's go on with the Wonder Lash on the other side, because as I said, I got some views and opinions on this one. So let me show you the brush here. Again, a plastic wand. That is it there. Very, very small, almost flat on one side and then like bristles on each side. But considering that the packet looks like it's meant to be like a Benefit dupe, I actually don't think this looks anything like any kind of Benefit mascara. The tube doesn't look anything. I thought I was going to pull it out and it would look like the real. You know, the one in the kind of funny bottle. Like, it doesn't look like anything like that. So, on first application of this mascara, it went from the way my eyelashes are now to full on fucking clump central, which is not my bag if you've been watching me for any length of time. I prefer a lengthening eyelash to a clumpy volumizing eyelash. But I will just show you. So one swipe, and I'm just taking it along the lashes. I can see it happening already. And I'm working it into the base because that's the way I would always do in my mascara. But I don't know, can you see what's happening here? It is already starting to clump, and it's, look at that, it's giving me like 5 eyelashes. Now, you might be looking at this thinking, oh, that looks really good, like it's giving you volume. I hate that. I hate, and I've said this before, it's not my kind of mascara. So if you're someone who, oh God, look at this on the end here. I'm just gonna take a spoolie through them, because otherwise I don't think there's going to be any salvaging this. It'll be fine. But it's like a softer, wispier, like bringing them out to be like a soft, fluttery lash. That might not be for you. You might prefer a clumpy look. This is not for me. I do not like this. But it's almost like it gets out of control so quickly that I just kind of was like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this mascara. Alright, so I've zoomed out a little bit, and I feel like from afar you're going to be like, it doesn't really look too much different. But personally, I just don't like this. I don't like the technique of it. I don't like using it. I think they are both £3.50. Yeah, both mascaras are £3.50. That was our first impressions on this one. I will see how it will go. I actually might just add another little coat on here, because I do really like how this finishes. It's nice and lengthening, very, very fluttery. I quite like the wand, but I think this gives a really good, like, natural false lash effect, like very lifted and pretty, curved to the outside, whereas this is like full on, I don't know, clump fest. And if you're into that, then you might really like this. For me, this is a big fat no, not into it whatsoever. So let's put on some blush, because these look right up my street. I am going to put on the orangey one first, because, no. Let's put on the rose one first, because I feel like I could knock back the rose one. If I want to put the orange one on first, I'm not going to be able to overtake it. So this is in here. It's quite a soft texture. It is a cream blush. You can see that there. But see, while I'm swirling my finger in it, it does not make the product become sheeny. It definitely looks like it's more of a matte texture. But when I'm putting it on the back of my hand there, it's very, very soft and like smoothing. I'm going to just do a little swatch for you on this hand. That is the rose one there. Matches my jumper perfectly, actually. That is the peach one. I think the peach is much more coral. That's never been peach in its life. It's like straight up coral. But, oh, that is very much my cup of tea. I would actually say the rose one's texture is slightly different from the peach one as well. I feel like that is a little bit kind of, this is softer, whereas the other one's a little bit stiffer. So I am going to go in with the rose one just here. I don't have any bronzer or anything like that either. I will put on some concealer in a moment. But I just wanted to give some of these products a little bit more, a little bit more light shine on them, because I feel like we do talk about a lot of really expensive and bougie products, which a lot of the time are very, very nice. But nice to also speak about if things that are a bargain are actually worth spending the money on, because it's fine this blusher being £4.50, was it? £3.50. But if it's shit, it's still £3.50 your money that's shit. Very, very neutral, I would say. I mean, I've definitely got blush on, but it's not overpowering. It's just like there's a nice little flush to my cheek there. I would wear that as a daily blusher. What I would say is as well though, I know I've got that illuminating primer on. You can see that here. It kind of knocks that back a bit. It's definitely more of like a matte blush. Which some people will absolutely love. I love a little shine to the tops of your cheeks, so you know. And then I'm going to go in with this orange one. Where is my stippling brush? Oh, there it is. I'm going to take a stippling brush for this one because I feel like with it being a louder colour, look at the colour of that on the top of the brush. Oh, this might just need a slightly gentler hand. Oh, this is exactly the kind of colour of blush I just adore and love, and for the summer. Oh, hello. Oh, this, like, I get it. If you're not someone like me who loves blush, I get it. You'll be like, this side is much nicer, softer. Great. Personally, this is my idea of summer heaven, like pop of orange, a little bit almost neon orange. This isn't peach, this is coral. So they've called it peach, but it's coral. And I personally think that is absolutely stunning. And I do feel like there's a little bit of sheen. A little bit of sheen. I just feel like the rose one, the texture is different. Texture is different in these. This one definitely feels a little stiffer when I'm using it with my finger, but I feel like maybe because I've used a stippling brush, it's just allowing the product to shine through a little bit more. This side, I feel like it kind of, there's a little sheen there, but it just dampened that down a little bit. I am going to take the peach one to match the other side because I just prefer it. Oh, look at that. Look at that colour. Oh, so nice. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a concealer. This isn't Primark. It's from Collection and it's their Lasting Perfection Hydrating Serum. A new one to me. I've never ever used it before. And I am going to do my classic, like put it on the back of the hand and then use a brush to apply it. Because I always worry that things like this end up kind of a lot drier than they claim. They say they're hydrating and then I put them on and I'm like, So I'm going to zoom you in and let's see how this covers the area that I showed you. You can see around about here just how red and kind of splodgy, kind of, I feel like it's like patchy. I feel like the area is patchy. I'm just going to run this concealer over these areas and right under my nose to try and get rid of, I will take it like over my nose as well to try and just get rid of that redness. Stop me looking like I've been having too much wine. Okay, so I feel like for evening out the skin, like my nose doesn't look quite as red anymore. It's kind of dampened down that redness. But see the areas here where there are definite blemishes, like definite like little areas of spots. I don't feel that it's covering them so well. Just helping with areas of my skin that are a different colour to even things out. But actual zit coverage, I'm not sure it's doing that as well. That blush is so nice. Look at it, it's like, oh, neon goodness. Let me just pop a tiny bit in here. and in here, a little bit there. Ooh, ooh, that's quite nice under here. Don't hate that. Okay, so I'm going to use the lip liner, which it says it's natural pink, I want to say, neutral pink, which isn't exactly the kind of colour I would have put with this eyeshadow look, but here we go. I am just going to fill my lip in a little bit with this because I obviously don't have a lipstick, I just got the lip gloss. That's quite a nice colour. Can you see it on my top lip there? And then there's my bottom lip. That's quite nice. Now, I just went like that with my lips to try and like blend it together a little bit. I think the colour is gorgeous. The colour is very, very nice. It is a little bit more of a kind of neutral pink tone than it is a kind of orange, but very dry. Very dry. I feel like some lipsticks or lip liners you can get away with are quite creamy, so you can kind of put them on your lip, blot them out, and then, you know, they can go as a little bit of a lipstick as well. This, I would not suggest that with. It's very, very dry, but I am going to be topping it with a gloss anyway, so don't take that as a slight on the lip liner. It just depends on what kind of lip liner that you like. And this here, the gloss is £2.50. Now there is a slight sparkle to this, but not like it's got a little gold shimmer moment in it. Also says it is a plumping gloss, and I totally forgot that until I started putting it on there because it legitimately has that Too Faced tingle. Like it's starting to nip a little bit. I fucking forgot that. Yeah, that is like burny. It's a little bit mint, but also like it has that Too Faced feeling to it. If you ever used Too Faced before, you will know what I mean. That super duper like tingly, almost a little bit sore, stingy feeling. It definitely has that to it too. Oh, that lip gloss. Oh my god, it's just been a while since I used a lip gloss like that. I can't get over like, oh, I can feel it. It's like nipping my lip. Oh my god. It is supposed to be a plumping lip gloss though, so I don't know. Do you think my lips look any bigger? I think though, I have to say, I am really pleased with this look. I know it's not like a full face as such. I've not used the foundations, brow products, all that kind of stuff. But on the surface of it, I think that everything that I've used, I've kind of liked. This maybe is just a bit more neutral for me. I certainly prefer the peach blusher. The lip gloss being that tingling way wouldn't be my first choice, but I think it looks pretty on, and it's actually a very nice kind of neutral nude lip. It's not too pink, it's not too sparkly. I feel like you could put it over different liners and get different looks from it. Like if you put it over quite a dark brown liner and then this over the top, you're going to get a slightly more outstanding look than this one that's a little bit more neutral. The lip liner, I probably won't pick any more of these up. It's just a little too drying for me. The Perfect and Prep, I do actually like the glow that this gave my skin. I think this is quite nice. I just have to say that the tube is just absolutely solid. I don't know how you're supposed to squeeze that out with one hand. Mascaras, I think this is nice on first impressions. I will keep you up to date. I like the finish of it at the moment, but I will let you know what I think. The cream eyeshadow also, I think that is very nice. I am just, let me look in my mirror. Is it starting to crease already? Oh dear. It might be starting to crease ever so slightly, which isn't very promising, but I thought it was nice, and I feel like if you were using it as a one and done shadow, it would be in a situation where you could take a little brush out with you and just, and it would fix itself. How much was this again? Oh no, where's the wrapper for this? Did I mention how much this one was? I will have to look this one up. It'll be down below if I can find it, and I will let you know the price of it. I think I took the packaging off this one the other day to have a look inside it. As I've mentioned before, the powder blush, I'm sure this was £4.50. Yeah, it is, it's there on the front, sorry. I quite like this too. And the eyeshadow palette, I think the eyeshadows look really, really nice. They weren't like patchy or anything, they went on very smoothly. I think that the shimmers are very, very nice. It's gave me a nice look, and there are 12 eyeshadows in this, which for £6 cannot really quibble. On the whole, I think the Primark Beauty is quite nice. I like it. I like the finished look. I think it's very pretty. What can you say? I think it's very, very beautiful. I think it's a look that nobody would look at me and think, oh, you've got a face full of Primark makeup on. They'd have no idea. They wouldn't know if this was like an expensive makeup or not. At the moment anyway, I don't know how it's going to wear throughout the day, but I have to say I quite like this. So let me know if you have tried any Primark Beauty. Let me know if you have used any before. Obviously, with one of my subscribers saying that they had a reaction. Have you had a reaction before? Have you any absolute favourites in Primark? And also, if there are any base products in Primark that you think I would probably like, someone who's got dry skin, prefers a bit of a glow, and has 36-year-old skin, please let me know down below. And I will see you all again in the next one. Bye.